guys, well, welcome to the 2017 Lamborghini Huracan. So comfortable, isn't it? You know, if you got a crank in your neck, this is what you're gonna get used to if you're over 6 foot. I'm 6'4", 318 pounds, 15 pounds. I think I'm losing a little bit. I'll get there gradually. I'm thick, I know, I get it. And I don't belong in this car. But did I make a mistake? Did I jump the gun buying the Porsche and not getting the Huracan? This weekend was interesting. Let's just dive right into it. Let's get the top down so I can actually be comfortable and get my head back up, and then look over the windscreen so I can actually see in front of it. Let's do that now. But first, let's turn the car on. Let's kick the brake in, push the button. That is nice. That is proper. Yeah, it's been interesting. All right, let's get this top down, and then I can get my head up proper in a second. The struggle, and then all your joints crack after that. Get those windows down. Let the car get up to temp a little bit. Get comfortable. In order for me to drive this thing, so my vision is just not right at the windshield, I gotta hunch down, bring my knees to the dashboard, curl up in a fetus position, and get acclimated. And then my knees are right at the shifter, which is fine. Okay, and now I'm up to temp. Throw that thing in first. Well, let's take off. I was told there's a lift, but there's so many rules when you go to use it. You have to be fully stopped when you put the lift up, and then you have to be fully stopped when you put the lift down. I just think this car needs service. I don't think they're all like that. I just think this one's been through it. It's 75,000 miles. This car has seen better days, you know what I mean? Whew! So this is a Lamborghini Huracan. Yeah. That Lamborghini Huracan. Did I make a mistake going with a line 11? I don't know, man. I get a lot of comments saying, yeah, but it's still not a Lamborghini. The 911 is still not a Lamborghini. So I took it out. I got this Huracan for 3 days. Am I in love with it? I don't know, man. This Huracan is pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not comfortable in it. As you can see, I'm scrunched up like a hermit crab in its shell. You know what I mean? If I sit up proper, I'm out of this car, and I don't want to embarrass myself. So, you know what? I'll just prove to you that when I sit up, I'm out of the car. And now I feel like I'm Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Head out the window and shit. You know what I mean? It's not ideal. For me anyway. It's fun. The only thing I can kind of complain about, I have to take in mind this is an older car. The interior is kind of janky, it's plasticky, it crinks, it's gross, it's weathered, but it's a 2017 car. It's a little older. I apologize, I might buy LAX. But the interior, there's not much to write home about. Like, it's clean looking, but it's not like, it's not user friendly. There's not much in the interior of a Lamborghini. There's not much in the interior of a Huracan. You're paying for the motor and the way it makes you feel. But it's funny because when you accelerate, you feel like your panels are gonna fall apart. The door, like you can hear the window and everything shaking around in the doors here. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, it's not solid. You feel, but is anything like that? You know what I mean? The Porsche 911 is just built different. It's solid. It's more refined. It's on a whole nother level. I can't compare this with the 911. This is a one-show pony. This is like, go fast, that's about it. Go fast and go loud, that's it. Other than that, I don't know what else this thing offers. I don't feel confident banging corners on this thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's fun, don't get me wrong. Like, it sounds amazing. But other than that, I don't know why else I would have this. It's sharp looking. Yeah. It's that girl that you dream of. until you get her and she's not what you dreamed of, you know what I mean? By looks, amazing, you know what I mean? Maybe she's fun to ride around in a little bit, but when you're sitting down and have a conversation, you really need something from it, it's not gonna be there. This is that car. And it's funny because like the 911, look at it, I'm playing with the car, but I'm going straight. Like I'm playing with the steering wheel and I'm still going straight. Usually the 911, if I just touch the steering wheel, I'm darting into that location. Now there's a lot of play in the steering wheel. Now is that because this car is dated? This car's a little older, maybe. You know, it's not a brand new car like mine is, but it's not what I expected with all the hype being online and everything. The Huracan is not what I thought it would be. I want to like this car, I really do. But it's on, I can understand why it's the same thing as the R8. So I don't know if you've seen my other videos. When I drove the R8, I absolutely hated it. And it shows that this is the brother or the sister of the R8, or this is the big brother of the R8. It's in the same boat. It's the exact same platform, exact same thing. It's just the body looks different. And I'm just as uncomfortable in this as I was in the R8. I was probably a smidge more comfortable in the R8 than I was in this thing. I don't have words to compliment this thing. I really don't. It just feels janky to me. And it just solidifies my idea with the 911 that I made the best choice of my life getting that 911. Although I do love the pops and bangs of this exhaust, of this V10. There's not much to say. What you see online, I feel like, is really blown up. Like, it's a kid's dream, this car. But as you get older, this car just doesn't make sense. It's fun to rip around, don't get me wrong. Like, you burn some tires, you do some donuts, whatever. Yeah, it's a looker. But it doesn't fulfill, like, every want or need. It's uncomfortable. It's not very performance-driven. It's just fast and loud. This is all this car is. You can murder me in the comments, but this thing does not hit curves like a 911 does. This doesn't make you feel confident in your driving. It doesn't even feel like it's put together properly. Everything shakes and rattles, and the mirrors bounce like crazy. The dashboard makes crinks and nasty noises. The infotainment center is old and janky, but it's a 2017, so I can't think about it that way. You know what I mean? To say that, like, oh, this is a far more superior car than the 911, it just doesn't make sense. This is a frat guy's car. You know what I mean? You go around, look to pick up chicks because you can't do it on your own, so you want to showboat with this thing. This is an ego car. If you want people to look at you and do all that stuff, this is the car you get. If that's what you're worried about, if you're worried about the attention, that's what you want, get this car. This will give you all that. I've been driving this car for 3 days. I've been asked, what do you do for a living? Nice car. What do you do for a living? Maybe like 6 or 7 times. Yeah, it's gonna happen being in this car, and you get a lot of like, rev it, which is cool. I love that because I'm the same way. Like, you want to get that. Kids love it, you know, obviously. That's the attention you're gonna get in this car. You know what I mean? But then you do have like the negative Sallies that are like, oh, he's too big for that. And they'll just like talk crap about you while you get into your car and stuff, which I'm game for. I'm all for it. Say whatever you want. I'm still taking off in it. You know what I mean? But this car is, oh, that's nice right there. It's a little Jag. But this car is definitely just for the people that are looking for attention. You know what I mean? It's not a performance-driven car. It's for looks. It's for show. It's for, ooh, you know, dropping what you have, going to a fancy thing like, oh, showing up in the Lambo. It doesn't do it for me when it comes to performance, the build quality, the creature comforts. It doesn't check any of those boxes. Being comfortable in this car is not one of those things, unless you're 5'5" and below. That's the only way you fit comfortably in this car. Other than that, there's no way, man. This is the only way this car would make sense to buy, is if you're just like ego driven and you just want attention, just feed me attention, you know what I mean? I don't want that. I love that the 911 is way more bang. I love that the 911 is way more bang for your buck than this Huracan is. I feel like if you get the Huracan based out of just, you know, dreaming of this car and not actually driving it, you're going to be really disappointed And you probably, I can see why people trade these things in real quick. They're not holding on to them like they would any other cars. To be honest, out of all the cars I've driven, so let me just kind of go down the list of what the cars I was interested in and what I ended up buying. So the cars I was interested in, they're in my caliber of cars, were the McLaren 570S, the Audi R8, the Corvette C8, the AMG GT, and then the 911. The Lambo was out of my price range, but then again, with the price that I paid for my 911, I could have bought a Lambo. Am I regretting that choice of not getting what I wanted? Nah, not in the least bit. I got this car, and the first day I was in it, I was already tired of it. I was just like, like, like whoever like glorifies this car, I'm like, oh, Lamborghini is, but it's all ego driven. It's all showboating. It's nothing to do with a real car enthusiast. There's no way that you can tell me that this car is better than the 911. It's just in a different category. This is more for show and for ego fulfillment. That's it. It doesn't make any other sense any other way. My leg is so cramped up just being in here. I knew I was in for a rough time, because as soon as I got into this car, I scuffed up my knee, getting in from the passenger side while I was getting like the runaround about the car. The whole thing, like I knew it was gonna be a tough ride for me. All right, let's just get down on the highway and see what happens. It's getting hot in here, baby. No one's coming. Maybe just for the exhaust sounds. The sounds are phenomenal. You know, a Porsche Taycan in front of us. I'm kind of getting used to this button with the directional. It's like being on a Vespa. It's click, sounding really repetitive. It's a beautiful car. You get it for the aesthetics. You get it for the V10 and the sound, that's it. Everything else performance-wise is not there. It doesn't feel planted. It doesn't feel safe. Which is kind of dope, because we all like that feeling too, you know what I mean? That's what makes you like adrenaline going. You rip this tail around like no problem though. Yeah, man, this is clutch, man. It's a little kick in the ass. Driving this car, I feel like I'm cheating on my girl. You know what I mean? I feel bad for my car at home, man. I love that one so much more. This is like a cheap fling. This is what this car is, a cheap fling. And you just feel like dirty driving it. You know what I mean? I know that's horrible to say, but that's how I feel. I don't know. Another thing about this Huracan is the interior. I know it's a 2017. It's a little dated, but especially when it comes to tech and everything, every 2 years, it's crazy. This one has a CD changer and 2 SD card slots. You know what I mean? It's definitely shown its age. And the fact that there's no cup holders and there's all this space in here just makes no sense to me. And the steering wheel is jacked, the pedals, and this whole area is really I can't take it for what it is because it is a rental, so it's all tone. There's cuts in the side and the center console because I'm sure people's jeans and whatever else they're doing. There's physical buttons, which I like. I like the design of the door panel and everything. But the feel is just really, it's just cheap. It's plastics. It's plastics on plastics, you know what I mean? There's a little touch of carbon fiber here and there, but all in all, it's a looker from the outside. Everything inside is kind of meh, you know what I mean? But she's beautiful from the outside. Don't get me wrong, she's great in pictures, but it's a push-in gas cap too. I thought it would be a lockable gas cap, to be honest, but whatever. But the inside, I feel like there could be more going on with here. It's just so basic and there's so much space. Like, I feel like the center console can be pushed forward. You can easily add a cup holder in this gap. I don't even know why this is here. I don't know if it's wireless charging, but I really doubt it since it's 2017. But like, it's so awkward to put your hand in there that it makes it impossible to reach in. I feel like they should have deep set that center console and then put some cup holders or some more storage, because there's no storage in this car. Like, the glove box is a joke. You probably hold a flashlight in there or a flashlight. The front, you can only hold like a small carry-on. That's it. Just one small carry-on. That's it. I have my camera bag, and I swear, like, that took up most of the trunk space, and it's not a large camera bag. As you saw, it was on my passenger seat. I love that there's physical buttons and it's not just a screen, but the fact that this one's missing buttons and it just kind of flicks off, which is kind of wild to me. Like, how are buttons just falling off of this thing? You know what I mean? The build quality is not there. Again, it's beautiful from the outside, don't get me wrong. I love this car. Like, it was dope to drive and everything, but to live with this thing, there's no way. This is a get it out of your system type car. Like, drive it, get a feel for it, and I don't think you'd want to buy it. And they're massive buttons. They're like 1.5 inches big. Yeah, I know, that's kind of, doesn't sound like that's big. It all counts, man. It all counts. There's so much space for cup holders. I don't know how these exotics don't have cup holders. I know that's like an ongoing thing with like these cars and stuff, but it just doesn't make sense not to. And like, if everything, legit, like, if they made their center console, their entertainment system just as good as your phone, boom, just pop that in there and then you're done with it. The fact that I don't have to hang my phone in my car in the Porsche 911, that makes a world of difference right there for me. You know what I mean? I'm so happy I don't have to have another cord hanging out of somewhere, another suction cup on the window, or anything like stuck to the vents of the car. I shouldn't have to add like a GPS to the car if I'm paying $200,000 plus for my car. I don't care what the motor is made out of. It can be made out of gold. If I'm paying that kind of money, if I'm paying that kind of money, it should come with everything that I need. I don't need add-ons. That sounded nice though. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the show. You're paying for other people. I feel like the sound is better outside than inside. You're paying for everybody else to have the show. Guys, I know I haven't said much for this Huracan video, but that's gonna be my take for this Lamborghini Huracan. I'm not impressed. There's no way I'm picking this over my 911. Ain't no way, no way. I made the best choice I've ever made in my life, hands down. Alright, so that's it. That's my take for the Lambo, for the Huracan. Would I buy it? Nah. Do I love it? No. Do I like it? Yeah, I like it. Does it check a lot of the boxes? Nah, not really. Is it fun? Yeah, it's a heck of it. It's a bunch of fun. You'll have a great time in this car. Is it practical? Not in the least bit. Could you do a long ride in like a cannonball or a rally? Yeah, you can easily do a rally in this car. You're only going to fit one bag in the front, and then your passenger going to be really small in order to fit anything else.
Use the second from the left lane to turn left onto
I don't ever see myself getting in this car, and I'm so happy that I got my 911 and not this. Like, I wasn't like I wasn't talking into like, oh, you're missing out, blah blah. The only way you're gonna miss out is if you don't test these cars out for yourself before you buy
at the light,
a car of your
use
dreams.
the second from the left lane to turn
Try
left
these
onto
cars out before you buy them. That's the best
then enter the
advice
traffic
I can tell
circle.
you. So you don't live with regret and disappointment. And I feel that's why people trade out their cars after a year or two. You know what I mean? Looks like they scratch the itch and they're done with it. The 911 is like an itch you'll never satisfy. You'll just keep scratching at it and just keep wanting more and more and more of it. This car, 3 days, I'm good. It's like going to Vegas. You have a blast in it, but then when you're done with it, we don't talk about it afterwards. You know what I mean? So hopefully you don't end up with something too. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, do whatever you want. Don't subscribe. Roast me in the comments, I really don't care. I know I gotta lose weight too to fit in these cars too probably, but I can't chop my legs off in order to fit better in here. It's just not happening. Alright, peace.
I'm in an interracial relationship, and you know, my girl makes pretty well for herself, you know, and I'm like, you know, I don't see a problem with guys doing more shit and letting the females take over. Laundry's not that bad. To be honest, I've been mixing colors and whites, and she's never noticed. Which makes me just kind of, I thought about this for a little bit. I'm like, maybe these big washing machine companies like Maytag, and that's the only one I know because it's the only one I own. Maybe they're borderline like brainwashing us and like racist, right? You gotta separate the whites and the colors. Or the colors are gonna bleed into the whites and ruin your load. My girlfriend's black and she's never ruined my load. That's not